Okie dokie. Let's try and get some fucking honest to goodness gameplay. Um, we'll press new game, and here's character creation. You've created a character in Dark Souls before.
Yeah.
Enter a name. I think it wants to use a keyboard
Oh.
for that one. Don't name yourself something like Boner Fart.
No, I'm trying to think of like a name, but
Honestly,
I don't know why Corvius is sticking out to me.
Corvius?
Yeah.
Okay, go Corvius. You're all caps.
Oh shit.
Sex? Sure.
Why not? So I tend to like the female models a little bit better.
Me too, bro. Honestly, I don't know why I do. I unless it's like Gooner brain, right? And it's like female curve equals neuron activate.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly think some of the majority of the armors I like to use, Corvin. There we go. I don't know. They tend to look better.
Yeah, and they fit the armors a little bit better.
Let me walk you through what each of these starting classes mean.
Okay.
Now, first off, it doesn't really matter which one you start with.
Right.
Unless you're super duper min-maxing, which don't worry about.
I don't plan on it. I just
So warrior, quality, which is
All
strength,
around.
dex,
Yeah.
health, and endurance.
Okay.
Knight is sort of a diet warrior, but you got some faith.
Kind of even stat spread.
Another even stat spread, but it gives you a little more diversity. Wanderer is
Curve
dex.
sword action.
It's one of your dex options. I don't recall anything in particular about it in that. I think they've got some higher health or endurance as opposed to like the other dex option, which is right below it, the thief.
Oh yeah, like by one.
Now, if you read, it has a master key, which is a good selling point for the thief.
Okay, so master key. I'm assuming it's not gonna open any like story built doors, but it'll be good for majority doors. Maybe?
It gives you some crazy early game access.
Okay.
Some like, wow, I can't believe I can access this spot this early with this master key.
Okay.
You can find the master key elsewhere.
How early / late?
So by the time you find it, it'll be like,
Too late.
basically, you can still get use out of it, but you gotta kind of backtrack. But it's still there. You're not locked as a thief if you want to have the master key.
Okay.
And right below thief is bandit, which is strength. Strong.
Yeah.
So the bandit starts with a battle axe. I believe that starts with a B scaling in strength, which is pretty fucking good. The thief, speaking of weapons, which I just sort of glazed over. The thief starts with the bandit knife, which might be the best dagger in the game, depending on who you ask, and also depending on who you ask, might be the shittiest. What's good about the bandit's knife is it has one of the highest critical damage multipliers, which is parry, riposte, backstabs.
So are we looking like 110 or 140?
Like 1.5, I don't recall. It's high. It's the highest in the game.
Okay.
It's one of the highest.
I'm not
in the game.
parry god. I just like fast weapon.
It also does bleed.
Bleed is so good. Bleed is so good.
It's pretty fucking good. Wanderer starts with the scimitar, pretty basic dex weapon.
Uh-huh.
I think the scimitar is just fine and dandy, but there's really nothing special about it.
Curved swords tend to have a real flowy moveset, so it's...
In Dark Souls, a lot of curved swords replace your kick animation.
Interesting.
with something that most people would consider worse, but I think is cool because it's different.
It's different. It's different.
Knight and warrior basically start with the same sword. I guess the warrior's is a little better because it's got a little more reach, and I think it's got a slightly better stat alignment scaling.
Okay.
But yeah. Then the hunter starts with a bow. Kind of more of a dex all-arounder. Not quite as dex heavy as the wanderer or the thief, I think. The bimbo class.
Fucking sorcerer.
Pyromancer. Now this class is interesting because it's the only one that starts at soul level 1. Now, if you'll notice, they each have their stat alignments right here.
Yeah.
Some start higher levels, some start lower levels. This is the only one that starts at the first.
3, 4, 5.
And I'll tell you this now, Manny.
Okay.
Unlike other games, you are hard locked with your level up decisions. You cannot respec. So, I'm gonna let you know what is always worth investing in, what you shouldn't invest in.
Right. Right.
I'm a guide you so you don't make a regret.
Okay.
Cleric. Arguably the strongest class in the game.
Hammer.
Because you start with a great hammer. I think that also ends up with B scaling if it doesn't start with it already.
Right.
Great starting weapon.
Fucking wooden shield.
Pretty sure you if you unequip the shield, you have fast roll.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
But the armor is like nothing, of course.
Yeah.
You start with deprived. You start with a healing miracle, which is
Not bad.
basically 5 extra heals.
Yeah.
And high faith scaling.
Okay, so are spell slots used like how in Dark Souls 2 where it's like limited or
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no mana. It's D&D.
Okay.
You have slots.
Okay.
And deprived is even stat alignment,
I'm thinking thief just because of how open it is, but having dexterity so high could be a good and a bad thing.
So the good thing about having high dex, if you don't want to go down a dex route, is that a lot of weapons still have a dex requirement.
Right.
So having it so high right now means you don't really got to worry about fulfilling that dex requirement until you get into a lot of the later game weapons. But you gotta like pump strength, obviously.
Health too, because it's it's the second lowest health class.
If you want to go big strong, straight out the gate, you're gonna want to pick bandit because you got 14, which I believe if we scroll through everyone, that's the highest. Yep.
Yeah, warrior comes close by 1 stat, but I don't.
If you were to ask me if there's a canon class, which there isn't, but also I think there is, I would say it's the knight.
That makes sense because suit of armor, Dark Souls just kind of fits.
I think that's the class people think of when
Yeah.
they think of John Dark Souls,
Yeah.
or Jane Dark Souls in this instance. With the thief, you also start with the target shield, which gives you more parry frames.
Right, that's another reason I'm looking at it too. But like I said, I'm not parry god. I probably won't parry.
Also, let's take a moment and ingest this theme music.
It's nice. It very Majula-esque. The calm before the storm.
Definitely.
I think I might go thief.
What's selling you on thief?
Master key, high crit.
So when I
less
said
focus into
so you don't, because the thing you're going to choose right after this is your gift, right? And just choose a class so you can get to gift, or just skip to gift, and you'll see that in gift
is there a master
you
key?
have a master key.
Okay.
Now the thing about these gifts is
Goddess
you
blessing.
can You can find all of them in game, and some of them are a lot more useful than others. There is a funny joke about one of these, the pendant. In an early interview,
No effect.
Miyazaki, and I don't even know if this is true, bro. I just heard it repeated so many times. He was asked if there was a which starting item he would take, which gift, and he said, "Oh, I'd absolutely take the pendant, for sure."
It does nothing.
Doesn't do a fucking thing, bro.
That checks out.
Which is, in a way, yeah, probably the one you should take. But there are if there's anything you want to take here that actually does something, I would recommend you take the Old Witch's Ring. You can get it in game, but it's convoluted to say the least. And this ring doesn't even do anything like crazy special. It does do something special, but nothing that's gonna like change the way you play the game or anything.
Right. Okay.
You can get the Master Key, of course, which is gonna open up so many avenues early game. That being said, I don't know how many people would say the game has a set pathway, but I think there is almost certainly a designed means of progression. Taking the Master Key and going some certain routes
ignores it
might affect it. Hey, it'll make your experience all the more unique, but I think most purists would say, yeah, you're probably supposed to go from this area to this area to this area to this area. But you are at no point locked in with or without the Master Key.
Okay, so Old Witch's Ring. What do?
So you won't have any use for it for a good stretch of the game, and I'll clue you in when, like, hey, you might remember that Old Witch's Ring. You might be able to get some use out of it right now.
Okay, so is it lore or
it's lore?
It's lore.
It's a lore item.
Okay. That could be fun.
And, like, you can get it in-game, but remember when I said, hey, there are secrets that I'm just not going to tell you about, because it's sort of not a true experience if I tell you about this secret? This
is one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're asking me, hey, what should I get? I would say probably get the Old Witch's Ring, but I would rank it Old Witch's Ring, pendant, Master Key. Like this first 1, 2, 3, 4.
Binoculars.
First 4 are like basically a joke. You shouldn't take them.
Yeah. Tiny Being is tempting, but I mean, HP is HP. I'm gonna level up regardless. Fuck it, yeah. So, say if I was to go Thief, would I still get the Master Key?
You
and
certainly would.
No,
certainly
I
would.
won't.
Okay. Now, as you go down these, there's one that's a little...
Why is she looking at me like that, dog?
I think the one for the male character is especially, comical.
Oh,
The
God.
jubilant Katarina.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Bro, in the OG game, like I had it on PS3, I'm pretty sure they made it look more racist than this.
Holy shit.
But what's interesting about this screen right here is you can get some insights onto the different like races or peoples of the world that you will not find anywhere else in the game.
Is that fucking Ryan Reynolds?
Hi, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Here at Mint Mobile, you can get reception even in Lordran. You might say that Mint Mobile is the Dark Souls of phone plans. Go see Deadpool 5.
Bald Reynolds. Okay, yeah, I can't do male. I will spend more time looking at my face.
That's the thing, bro. If I'm gonna look at a character for hours, I'd rather it be a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Than a stinky man.
Yeah.
So, you'll learn more about...
They're all so uncanny.
Yes. Well, it's a game from 2011.
Yeah, yeah. I guess Delta Farmer looks the most... less canny, I guess. She's from out of iRobot. Straight out of iRobot.
Straight out of iRobot. So, the waifu simulation in Dark Souls 1, it was still in its infancy.
Oh, yeah.
If you try hard enough, you can get something decent.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Yeah. And if you go into customize, you can like get more options. You can go as deep as you want in it. Make the character you think is gonna be. You're gonna be staring at it all game, Manny.
That's fair. That's fair.
So hey,
is there? There's not. It's just, and it's okay. Yeah.
Be careful with these sliders because you can make a Clayface monster milk person.
I've made my handful of Clayface monster milk monster. There it is.
Got stung by a bee.
There it is. So, bee sting is more feminine. Got it. Does she get also more pale as? So pale face, puffy face, feminine, peak feminine.
Then the more masculine you go, the more you look like a refrigerator.
What? That's not. Okay, yeah.
Right smack dab in the middle looks about reasonable.
Yeah. Oh, she looks human.
That looks... Yeah, that actually looks human somehow. Good job, Manny.
Okay.
You can go a little deeper.
Customize again. Oh, shit.
I think you've done a bang-up job with what you got so far.
This isn't bad.
I think you're risking it if you try and alter anything else for real.
I kind of want to make her a little bit more pale. Because Corvius, Raven... Corvin, I guess.
You might want to try that in the on like the hormones tab.
Oh.
Also, don't forget your physique.
That is, yeah.
If you want to get a real good look at what's actually changing, you can swap to the deprived class.
Why her head so small? Oh. Oh.
The frump.
Rump.
Anime build. Like, could be very intellectual, Manny.
Yeah, nah. That's even smaller head. Holy shit.
Alright, let's see how you prefer your women, Manny.
Fuck it.
The council will decide.
See, I don't want to go too into hormones because then we get the puffy cheek weirdo.
Just nudge it over. Just nudge it over a little bit.
That's a homie face.
That's homely, yes.
That's a homie face.
So you can tell that the geometry
It's just
just
not
sort of
quite
cuts
right
off
there,
right there, unfortunately. That's just the way the cookies come out.
Yeah, yeah. Strunk.
That spider shield you start with is actually not half bad either.
Okay. All right. Locking it in.
Now, before you press OK, we're gonna go into the Dark Souls 1 intro cinematic.
Okay.
Manny, I don't think I can overstate just how fucking good this little cinematic is. Not just because it's visually stunning and compelling, because assuming that it's one of the very few pieces of Dark Souls lore we can assume happened exactly as is described and portrayed, you can almost always, not always, like I could watch through it now and I can find a small detail, something like so small, and I can run with it. I can almost certainly run with it and find a new way to like interpret something about the game.
Okay.
And this is definitely something like you want to watch over and over again. Like there will absolutely be things you like just sort of like they scroll past you and you will take for granted until like later on and you start getting lured and you realize every single frame is fucking important.
Okay.
Something I'm sure you were probably gonna guess, but yes, it's that fucking good. And away we go.
Yeah.
Away we go to shot.
Locking it in. Blinding.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons.
That's a boss, ain't it? It's always a boss.
But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead.
Okay. Looks kind of sick.
He's so fucking sick.
The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos.
Gang fight. Gotta love it.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
Furtive pygmy.
So easily forgotten, Manny.
With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms.
poison boss.
And
God
seas
fucking damn it.
stillness betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
Nikki Dragon! So it said it was blinded, right?
Thus
said it was blinded?
began the
He's an albino.
age of
Albino.
fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are
Little graphics upgrade here. I see where the budget went.
A man sees not light, but only endless nights.
The canon class.
And amongst
That's
the
what I'm
living
saying.
carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Okay. Oh, still more.
Yes, indeed.
Damn, that's loud.
The dark sign brands the undead.
Sure does.
Hits.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north.
Might want to adjust that in game though.
Yeah.
Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
Remember how pretty you made your character?
This is your fate.
Raven. You are a beef jerky.
Beef jerky. Is that why we got the jerky snacks? Jesus fuck.
Nah, you got it bad.
Friend? Friend? No?
Eh,
Maybe? I could use a friend.
So, Manny, I brought up how we're going to be playing Dark Souls Remastered, as opposed to the original Dark Souls or Prepare to Die edition.
Right.
Throughout our little playthrough, I'm going to go over every little thing, why a lot of people don't like the remaster. I'm going to tell you some reasons why the remaster's good. Before you pick that up, I want you to just look at the effect on the body. Your, like that little, like the orb, like the light. That's like the the hey pick me up thing, right?
Right.
Just look at it. Look how it is, and when you're ready, press A to pillage that corpse.
Okay.
In the original game, that effect looks different. In my opinion, it looks a lot better. And I could show you it later. But that's one of the instances of the game taking a visual change. You might argue, hey, it makes it more noticeable to like notice, hey, pick me up, because it's a pick me up thing. I would say it was just fine the way it was. I would have absolutely kept it how it was.
Okay, so I press. What is it? Y, I guess. I've been playing Elden Ring a lot, so triangle for pickups that's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah. So definitely get acclimated. Oh, that's your roar button. That means that's what's
Little
what
shimmy
happens.
Little shimmy, little cha cha cha.
It's like, who ate the last bunion? That's what happens when you try and press your hot slot bar and there's nothing there.
Okay, okay. So instead of trying to drink an empty flask, it's God damn it.
No, if you're trying to use something and you can't, it'll be different contextually.
Okay.
Like your empty flask, you'll like dunk it out on the ground.
Okay.
If you want a two-hand,
I found that out the hard way.
what did you pick up off that corpse?
Rusty key. So I'm assuming.
I would say everything you pick up, do the Dark Souls thing, open your inventory, and read that motherfucker.
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't.
That's one of the key components of Dark Souls. You can also read your equipment too.
Toggle status.
Press A to enter.
Display.
X, toggle display, cycle through it. So, Manny, you were a brigand, and you raided mountain hamlets and attacked travelers.
On brand. So. Okay. In addition to protecting the blazing sun, dust, and sand. So it's not fire protection. It's just basic armor, though, right? Oh,
yeah.
shit. Display?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So typically, your headpiece and your chest piece might give you something a little unique, but the pants and the gloves will usually be about the same.
Okay.
You don't have to read like this. This is, that's a trifle thing. You start with the black separation crystal and the dark sign.
Okay. So I'm familiar with how these
function mechanically.
Yeah, mechanically, yeah. So if I have a co-op, that'll send them home.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just return to bonfire, lose everything.
Dungeon cell key.
Oh. Mysterious knight without saying a word shoved a corpse down into a cell, and on this person was his key. Who was this knight? What was his purpose? Fair enough. Maybe friend? Friend, please?
There may be no answers, but one must forge ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so I can't interact when that's there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful. You'll notice these are developer messages, and you can tell because they have that special knight. Now, what's funny, what I found on my recent playthrough, is this little scene right here, before you attack him, what I think happened, this is my headcanon, is this hollow killed that hollow. And I think that hollow was like his friend or something.
And now he's sad.
And he killed him because he's going hollow and he's losing his mind, and now he's fucking sad. Fist.
Oh, fucking wall flips. I'm doing nothing.
You got a broken sword, my friend.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm assuming there has to do with durability in this game too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. But keep it on the back of your mind.
Okay.
Right? It will break eventually.
Okay, so if I have a broken weapon, does it have like in 2 it had a little health bar? Is that the same, or do I have to physically keep track of it?
You can check. You have to physically keep track of it.
Okay, so there's no indicator to where it's like.
When it gets really low, it'll say weapon at risk.
Okay. I don't like the way
You're just taking a bath, bro.
fuck you and your bath.
Oh my god, you're a menace. Fucking brigand ass motherfucker.
I said it was on brand, did I not? Oh, no fast climb?
Nah, bro, we didn't have that kind of technology in 2011. But you can slide down.
Nice. Okay.
Now,
So I can't use directionals with that. I just have to.
here's a point in favor of Dark Souls Remastered. In the original release of the game, there was a funny glitch where if you slid down certain ladders, you would clip all the way through the floor, fall and die.
Oh.
And another thing about the Prepare to Die edition or original release of the game is it was so bad and so poorly optimized on launch that a dedicated fan within 24 hours released his own little patch fix called DS Fix, Dark Souls Fix. And that is like almost essential to play that game.
Checking our corners because I know these fucking.
Here's
games go.
another point where Dark Souls Remastered maybe made a change they shouldn't have. See the fire on the bonfire? In the original game, it looks a lot less like fire, and it looks a lot more like ethereal. Like something that's not fire.
Okay. So like a godly kind of order.
Like
aura.
it's definitely something different.
Okay.
Whereas that one, it's basically fire. I don't think it's super crazy. I think it's a little subtle. I think it's because in the OG, it was really slow. It was really slow and looked thick. It looked like you would touch it. It was viscous. Where this one looks more like just regular fire. I think this fire moves a little slowly than the fire you can see in game on like torches on walls and things, but it's definitely so different. I much prefer the original bonfire.
Okay.
And a lot of the despair hurled at remastered is those kinds of little things.
Okay.
Like what was the purpose for changing this? And why did you change it to something that was most would consider worse?
So I notice on the equip load, I don't get any indicator on light, medium, or heavy load.
You sure as shit don't. You
Okay.
sure as shit don't. I was pretty sure you were fast rolling with everything equipped. Yep, it's fast roll.
Okay.
Maybe when you get your weapon and your shield,
That'll change some things.
it might.
I don't like the way this room looks.
How does it look?
Boss. Blood splatters are never a good sign. So
Hey, don't forget, you can always look at the bloodstains.
I think I found the cause of the bloodstains. I don't do shit. Oh. I rolled into that. Oh, door. Nope, nope, nope.
Now,
Wait.
here is the weirdest discrepancy thing about this game that I've thought of.
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck closed that door?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who the fuck closed that door? And how?
Brother's naked.
Total synchronization. Fusion. Ha ha.
Okay, so there. Why is there? Ah, that. You're why. Okay.
Run him
Bitch,
down.
don't run.
Run him down.
There was something over here. There it is.
sure that starts with B scaling.
How do I check
Toggle
that?
display. Toggle display. Ah.
C and D. That's still not bad.
I'm certain it goes up to B. Yeah, now you're
That's heavy.
mid rolling.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Nah, that's mid roll.
That's mid?
That's mid. Bro, you'll know when you fucking fat roll.
Shit, okay.
Your back's gonna hurt when you fucking fat roll. Yeah, I do the trick. Bitch. So the thing about axe weapons, I'm pretty sure it's the same in Elden Ring. If you miss, boy, you got it's a big whiff. You gotta recover.
Yeah.
But when you hit,
It's a good hit.
Yeah,
It's a good hit.
speed.
Okay, so fog walls are not just.
Now, before you go too far, there's something really, really cool about this cutscene. There's a little. Ooh, careful. There's a little bit of random. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a little bit of random generation.
Like I said, I might be able to pull some people because I'm in a Discord server, but we'll see about that.
What's really cool about this cutscene is there's a bit of like random generation, where there's a visual effect that is different every time you see it.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I'll show you. I'll tell you what it is when it plays. But proceed ahead.
Rockfall, huh?
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Pretty bird.
Those feathers, different every time.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
So this is technically the northern
Lordran.
Undead Asylum. You flew kind of that way. I don't know which fucking cardinal direction it was, but I'm assuming this is more south.
Okay. Bird just knew to drop me off right there.
Yeah, bro, the bird did know. I love how the guy just like what?
No reaction whatsoever.
Yeah,
Just
bro, you don't
drop
give a
raise
fuck.
up.
So I'm gonna recommend you pop that one humanity you got.
Reversal.
No humanity.
Okay, so I need to actually consume the human. It's not just in the.
No, before you do that, actually, I'm gonna recommend you turn around or turn your character over there into that well and pick up that item, which is 3 more humanities.
Fair enough.
So feel free to apply this at will. I recommend just popping all the humanities you get up until you get to 10.
Okay.
Now, yeah, if you die, you'll use it, but that makes going the corpse run engaging, right?
Okay, so corpse run isn't just souls; it's
Souls and humanity.
humanity as well. Okay.
Now, if you use your dark sign, you also lose your humanity as well.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Now, here's a point for remastered.
Uh-huh.
In OG, you gotta go one at a time. Every fucking consumable.
Oh, that's pain. Okay.
Yep. Love that effect. I love Manny. I love this fucking game.
That's fair. That's fair. So, if I offer humanity, does it offer all of them, or is it just
One.
Okay.
Now you're a grape.
I am back to being a grape.
So, let me know when you're ready to engage, but if ever in doubt, unequip your weapon, swap to like your empty hand.
Oh, okay. Don't want to
Like you can swap to like your empty hand if you press the D-pad. Yeah. If you're ever in doubt, you think you're gonna accidentally hit someone, you can do that as a safety measure.
Okay.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival.
I am.
Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened.
I was gonna say.
Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. But I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
I was gonna say, if there's one thing you've heard about Dark Souls 1, it's probably fucking Blight Town.
Yeah, so it's like undescribably dark, right? Lighting wise.
We'll cross these bridges when we get there.
Okay.
Do a little cursory exploration, and then we'll see how this test stream turned out.
Lady in cage. She cannot speak.
Does she look familiar to you?
Fire maiden?
Firekeeper.
Firekeeper. Okay. Firekeeper soul. Okay. Stairs. Oh shit.
Woo!
Do I get shit from breaking items or not?
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro.
No.
All the ones, I'll let you know which ones have something in it.
Okay.
It's obvious, but there are many times like, oh, I'm gonna break this pot. There's something in these pots. There's never nothing in the fucking pots. But
I'm gonna wait to go down this elevator.
okay, it's no rush. It's no rush.
I feel like it's gonna take me to a new area or something. I want to explore what's readily available to me without extra doors or whatnots.
Also, let's just take a moment, let the Firelink Shrine theme kick in. Actually, I'm a enter dev mode. Yeah, that's what was going on.
Jesus Christ. We can probably bump that down to 5 or something.
Yeah. I have it on my settings. I typically keep music low. Like anything not like in the game, I keep it low.
A little bit low.
Okay. Walk around a little more, see if there's any distinct differences between that and what we had.
Yeah.
But yeah, this fucking theme. Like,
Bird.
yes. So, that one just, you know, comes to tip of your tongue. But do you have a favorite, like, of theme? Majula is so fucking good,
Majula is
bro.
by far my
Majula,
favorite.
it's honestly, bro, I don't blame you. It's hard to beat. If you turn around, you might have noticed. Hey, that chest is open.
I did. I was, yeah.
Also, that is a super unique asset right there. But that's a unique statue. How do you feel about this statue? I'm not a leading question, just genuinely.
No feelings particularly. Lady holding baby on tree stump. Yeah, checks out.
That chest that was open, that is like a failsafe chest. So if you drop somehow drop a mission critical item,
Oh.
it's gonna end up back there.
Okay.
I don't know how you drop it. If anything, I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually open it, now that I think about it. But that's where it supposedly ends up.
Okay.
There's some hidden doodads around this little hub area.
Why is bro so chunky?
It's a big bone.
I don't like his face.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Sexist.
Hello there. I realize, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Now, you might want to take a look at that item.
Oh
you just
my.
gave.
You again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Just to see the shop.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
This is the Covenant system.
Okay.
This is a system that was honestly a little ahead of its time, and unfortunately didn't see much iterations
I'm
past.
familiar with the covenants from 2. Bare minimum.
Unfortunately, I think they didn't carry this forward and make it as better as it should be. Here in Dark Souls 1, there are covenants that have different gameplay implications, most of which are more online play oriented.
Right.
This is the Way of White. Now, you can only join one covenant at a time, of course.
Right.
What the Way of White's thing is, it makes it a little easier to find people to summon and get summoned.
Okay. So there's no drawbacks in doing this, right?
Not really, no. Another thing, if you start as the cleric or the knight,
Now let me share my miracles.
you're already in
Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Meditation.
Shrug. Classic.
Got it.
Classic.
So if I talk to him again, that's where if I'm in a different covenant, I would go to him and talk to him and then join again.
Yep.
Okay. Seek guidance.
Now-
Messages, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Now, hey, this will show you other player messages, but it will also show you hidden developer messages.
Oh.
And honestly, it's fun to play with, but it's
It's not necessary.
realistically it's not worth your souls, but you can find some neat hidden things with it.
Okay.
And it's also it's fun to see like little developer secrets.
Yeah. So I am too broke for any of this.
You're broke as hell.
I'm broke as fuck.
You're broke as a joke.
Yeah.
Money funny,
Funny money.
change is strange.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Effectiveness. So the higher my faith is, the more spells he'll teach.
The higher your faith is, the better your miracles will scale.
Bomb. I know what that does.
Bomb.
That's awesome. Arson.
Here's a fun fact. Remember that well you picked up those 3 humanities in?
Yeah.
You can jump down it, and you can fucking die. And you will fucking die. That bloodstain is probably someone jumping off of the well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That checks out.
I'm glad I was right in my assumption. You said you wanted the spy kit.
I did. Don't tell me it's available right here.
You gotta work for it. You gotta put some elbow grease in it.
Okay.
You gotta go through an area that's honestly, it's not that hard realistically, but you gotta take your time.
Okay.
You might want to consider leveling up a little bit. You got some souls in the pocket. You boost your health, boost your endurance.
I should rock.
Always a good idea. Now, attunement is how many spells you can equip.
Okay.
You start off with 0, so if you wanted to cast a spell right now, you could.
Stay on.
Also affects your equip load.
Oh, it does.
Yep.
Okay.
And almost everything you level up is going to give you a tiny boost to all your physical defenses and shit down here.
So it's not a flat level up, but it's kind of a flat level up.
It's going to give a bigger boost to stamina and equip load, but it's also going to do all that. Same with strength. Strength is going to affect your weapon damage a lot more than any of that.
Okay.
This is just like a, hey, you know, you're getting stronger overall.
Okay.
Manny, there's one stat in the game you should, like, almost certainly never put a level in. Resistance. Now, that being said, it's not totally useless. It can be fun to play a really, really tanky character that goes heavy into vitality and resistance. But the thing is, you know how I just said, like, everything you level is gonna boost this? That's why you don't really want to care about resistance. And any big resistances you want to get, you can find the equivalent game. So before you make a crazy decision, I wouldn't put anything into resistance. Unless you wanted to really go for a tank build, which it doesn't seem like you want.
I don't. I'm a fairly aggressive player.
Of course, any points into vitality and endurance are worthwhile. The diminishing return caps in Dark Souls are around 40 and 50.
Okay. So I got some flavor.
And if you wanted to know the community consensus like cap for like finding PvP, especially on the higher end, it's 125, around the 125 range.
Okay. So I probably won't be doing too much PvP. I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna give you that advice and say, hey, you want to get the vitality and endurance up to like 40 about as soon as possible. I'm also going to suggest, once you find a weapon you know you want to use, just go for like the minimum stats to wield it,
And then go
and like instead of like raising like your strength or whatever. Well, you wanted to level up strength too, so that's fine. But once you have those minimum stats, I would focus mostly on the health and endurance, and focus on leveling up your weapon, because that's where the majority of the damage is.
I feel like that's what carries over the most in these games. It's really the level of the weapon that matters the most. Now, would it be cheating to do some R&D on the stat requirements for this Y-hander, or should I just...
So I believe the bandit starts out with enough strength to wield it two-handed. Because don't forget, you can two-hand it.
Yeah, and it'll like double strength or...
Yeah, it'll like, it's like 1.5, but I believe the bandit starts with enough strength to two-hand it.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's got like it's got some decks you don't have right now. Pretty sure.
I'll do the flat 3 on the base core stats. I don't want to go for it. Just to kind of see where it's going.
And that guy right there, you probably noticed, hey, this moody motherfucker's in every Souls game. This is the Crestfallen Warrior.
Oh, okay.
So don't forget to keep moving back to this guy, because he's gonna have something new to say.
Have you seen that terribly morose lass? The Firekeeper. She's stuck keeping that bonfire lit. Sad, really.
Oh, so
She's mute
directly
and bound
under
to this
where-
forsaken place. They probably cut her tongue out back in her village, so that she'd never say any god's name in vain. How do these martyrs keep chugging along? I'd peter out in an instant.
This be this place. Is Patches in this game?
Ha! It's Patches in a From Software game. Peyton Creighton.
Yeah.
I really love what they did with those two into
Skeletons.
motherfucking skeletons. And hey, it's not impossible. It's a little tricky, You can absolutely get through. You can absolutely get through this gauntlet. You just gotta take your time.
So there's two right there. There's the two steps. It's like one over there to the left. 2 or 3 right in the center. Damn, I would kill for you right now. Oh, I do that. Oh, they poison.
So you do minimal damage to them, right?
I do.
But you stagger them in one hit.
I do.
Walking through the water might be a little hefty on the audio.
A little bit.
I know we were talking over it the last time we were seeing. We can see how it sounds. But I would crank sounds down to like 5 or 4. 4 or 5 is fine.
Yeah.
I think that'll be just hunky dory right there.
I don't think I'm too worried about. What if I just run through? What if I just run through?
You're definitely gonna lose that 3 humanity. Now, hey,
Oh,
it's
shit,
humanity
yeah.
and souls. There's literally an infinite amount of them in the game, right? You just depends on how bad you really want to keep the ones you lost.
Oh fuck, I aggroed. So if I sit at the bonfire, can I? Wait, I can just funnel through here.
Don't forget that big two-handed is vertical. It won't hit the wall. Be careful, because that was his parry stance.
Oh.
You hit them while they're down, absolutely. I love these little guys. If you're lucky, they will drop their shield, or a scimitar, or maybe a falchion. Actually, I don't know if these ones drop the falchion.
Yeah, it looks like they're holding a falchion.
Yeah, they're holding the falchion weapon model, but sometimes they'll drop the scimitar. Dark Souls. What is we can do?
Oh, fuck.
And don't forget, you can block with your weapon in 2 hands.
Fucking hurt. Oh, so he. I tried to do it. Sorry, souls.
Bro, when I was playing Elden Ring, I had the fucking opposite problem. I was on runes. Blood echoes.
Yeah. Wait, where am I? Oh, it's up there.
So here's a fun fact about your bloodstain. Line of sight enabled. You can see it all the way across the map.
Oh.
Yeah, it will never like outspawn of your sight. Or, you know, it goes a crazy distance. Yeah, there's little doodads sitting around.
Yeah, I saw it out the corner of my eye, and I was like, wait, can I go? Yeah, I can go. Running desert stamina. Not second.
You do have a running attack as well. Forget, in case you want to use that.
Large soul, where is it?
So I'll tell you now. This Vi, it's at all the way at the end.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so I am at least going the right way.
And be careful, because if you go too far, you're gonna enter another area.
Okay.
If you jump attack,
I was trying to.
if you jump attack, he will never be able to parry you with that. What the? Zwei, bro?
I want the Zwei. I want the Zwei. You may wonder why.
Shut the fuck up. Alright, okay, we're gonna go home now, Manny.
We're gonna go home?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, let me get my shit first and then we can go.
Gotcha.
I'm honestly in this area right now.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to get through, quote unquote, legit. Oh, and of course, you know, patented From Software camera might get you killed once or twice.
As it should.
You know, it's a rite of passage.
It's the biggest boss in these games.
And I'm gonna definitely recommend, if possible, be in human form. Because being in human form is what's going to allow. It's gonna be what lets you summon people and what lets you get invaded. And hey, you can feel a certain way about getting invaded or summoning. I would consider it a critical component of the game.
For Dark Souls being what it is, I understand.
Oh, that noise just like it hits my soul. You know?
Yeah. So put out.
Here we are, and that's our story.
That's the start of it. Okay.
All right, let's see how we did.